Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you guys how I froth my milk for my lattes, cappuccinos, and etc. Ever since I posted the Breville Espresso review video, a lot of you guys have been asking how I do my latte art, and today I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. So with that being said, let's get on with the video. Really quickly, let's talk about milk options. In this tutorial, I will be using whole milk, but on a day-to-day basis, I do prefer oat milk. For me, whole milk is just easier to steam. It's more beginners friendly, but of course, if you cannot have whole milk, go ahead and pick the choice of milk that you prefer. I just like oat milk because it's creamy and it's the closest thing to whole milk in terms of texture and consistency. Latte art was something that I really wanted to nail down, so I watched a lot of YouTube videos and talked to a lot of different people, and a lot of baristas have told me to actually get a pitcher and a squirt of dish soap, put it in some cold water and steam it like it is milk, and the consistency that you want is actually a smooth texture, no bubbles, kind of a little bit thicker, and then you just play around with it like you're doing regular latte art, and that's something that actually really helped me. Now that we talked about milk, let's talk about temperatures. Temperature for me is really tricky just because I feel like we all feel at a different degree, a different temperature, and not everyone wants to stick a thermometer in their coffee. But for me, for lattes, I like them at a 140 to 145 degree. And for my cappuccinos, probably around 130. It's really hard to gauge, especially in the beginning. That was one of my biggest struggles. How I kind of gauge my lattes is that when I hold my pitcher with my left hand, I will kind of grasp it, like I will put my hand around the pitcher like this. And then once I feel that initial shock of like it's too hot, I let go and I count to 5. And for me specifically, that will always be around the 140 to 145 range. For cappuccinos, right when I feel the warmth, I will let go of my hand and count to 5, and that will usually for me be around 130. Now again, this really depends on you because everyone has a different sensitivity level. So kind of play around with it. Maybe for the first few times that you are trying to get your temperature correct, just have a thermometer on your side, get a gauge of how sensitive you are to the hotness of the pitcher. You have to play around with it, and you just kind of have to keep trying. Now with all that said, let's get on with actually steaming the milk. So I poured my milk all the way up to around 11 ounces, and then I will steam it all the way up to maybe 14 ounces. I like to always purge before you use the steam wand, and always purge after you steam your milk. So after I purge my steam wand for the first time, I will insert the steam wand into my pitcher and I will start aerating my milk. Now aeration is key because that's what makes your milk silky, frothy, and overall just that consistency that you want for your latte or even your cappuccinos. Now I do have the Breville Espresso, and this is not a very strong machine. It does get the job done, but it definitely does take a little longer until that I can see that the milk has risen. So I started with 11 ounces and I will let it go to maybe about 13 ounces or even 14 ounces. After the 20 to 30 seconds, I will start creating my vertex. And my vertex is really that whirlpool. Because of your aeration, the froth will always be on top and your liquid will always be on the bottom. Having that whirlpool will mix it together and get you that silky consistency. Again, that silky consistency is what you want and actually need for latte art. As you can see here, I'm actually holding my pitcher all the way to the side to kind of guide that whirlpool. I will hold it in that position until my desired temperature. Now again, this may take a lot longer than your typical espresso machine because my Breville is a little weaker, so I do have to steam my milk a little longer for it to get to my desired temperature. Once I feel that initial shock, I will let go, hold for 5 seconds, turn off my steam wand. Once I turn that off, I will take a damp towel, damp towel and clean off the steam wand and then purge for a second time. Now you really want to purge for the second time because milk will get into that steam wand and you don't want that milk residue in there. So you want to purge a second time, make sure the steam wand is clean, and then from there I will tap my pitcher on my counter just to get rid of the bubbles so that the bubbles can show in the surface, and then I will kind of swirl it. One thing for me, when I first started steaming milk, is that I will notice a circle of foam right in the middle, and that will always prevent me from creating really good latte art. If there's a circle in the middle, it's because my milk has settled, and if you keep moving your milk, it will keep your milk alive, just like what that whirlpool is doing when you're steaming. Because once it settles, the bubbles will rise to the top and your liquid will be in the bottom, and separating the two will never get you good latte art. And I'll just keep it alive until my espresso is done. You may have noticed that I do steam my milk first, and this is actually an amazing tip that I learned from you guys. I made the comment that sometimes my espresso will taste a little bit more acidic or even stale because I have to wait that extra minute to 2 minutes to steam my milk, and honestly, this is a game changer. You guys should always steam your milk first because you can keep your milk alive, but it's hard to keep your espresso fresh. So try it out and then let me know how your espresso tastes afterwards. Now for the latte art. How I do my latte art is that I will start my initial dip, pour it down, pull up, and then I will swirl until maybe half full. Then I will lower my pitcher closer to the cup, and right in the middle I will kind of pour a little quicker, pull up, and strike through. The most basic latte art is actually a heart, and how you get that heart is creating that 90-degree angle with your pitcher and your cup. With your pitcher, lower it to the cup and hold it still so that it creates a circle. Once you created that circle, you want to lift up and strike through, just like an L, and that strike through will create that indent for your heart and your tail of your heart. Again, latte art does take practice. Latte art is a skill. It takes a really long time to kind of learn, and it took me so long, and I'm still learning till this day. But for me, I started with whole milk because whole milk has the lipids and has the proteins to kind of sustain that texture and to hold that consistency, that silkiness, to create a really good foundation for latte art. And again, I do drink oat milk every day, and my latte arts are, you know, they sometimes look really pretty, but sometimes they don't, and that's completely okay. I think practicing is key, and again, you can practice with water and dish soap and just mimic it just like whole milk. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below. Again, I'm still learning and I would love to kind of pick your brains about it. So let me know, and I hope this video has helped you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!